Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bill Levinson, managing partner with Levinson and Associates. With me today, we have the Joseph Lochran, our marketing VP, and then we have our third-party social media consultant, Amir, is joining us as well. So, as always, great stuff to talk about. We're getting a record number of attendees. I'm watching in the right-hand corner, which is always great to see. So thank you for joining us, most important. I also just want to go over a few things before we dive in here. It's so important these days, and frankly, I don't care what business you're in. Insurance sales, if you're a landscaper, if you're an artist, or whatever the case is, if you're not marketing yourself or your work on social media, you're going backwards. Okay, it's that simple. I actually created that subject line that went out in today's email that literally said, if you're not marketing online through social media, you might as well be driving a car in reverse. And I meant that. Okay, and if you don't see that by now, you really need to pay attention today, because by the time we're done, I'm 99% sure you'll be a believer. I'm going to give you some real life examples on how this stuff is working for agents, just like you and me. So great stuff to come. The point of this webinar and the way this came about, I'll just tell you real quick. So we had our expo last month, and it turned out great. We had just under 300 agents from all over the country, and they were there the entire day from 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 at night. There was about 40 to 50 agents that stuck around after the expo. They were waiting in line to talk to us, and they literally said, "Hey, I love today's expo, and it was great information, but I want to get started with social media, and I don't know where to begin." So I said, you know what, call me Monday, let's talk. Then I'm like, wait a minute, I can't talk to 50 people, all in one day. It's literally impossible. So I said, let's create the ultimate social media webinar. And then what I did, I took it a step further, and I said, you know what, yes, we're an insurance marketing company, and it's our job to make sure all of our agents are educated and have the best products and service and all the above, but we're not a social media company, as you know. So I have a longtime friend and business associate, Amir, who's on the call with us. He owns a local social media marketing firm, literally down the street from our office. I've known him for probably 15 years now. Trust him like family. So what we wanted to do is I have Amir on the call. He's going to jump in about 10-15 minutes here, and we're going to educate you for free. That's what we're all about here at Levinson, as you know, but some of you just do not have the time and don't want to spend the time to get your platform up and running. So what we did is we put together two co-op packages together for you. One is basically Amir will come in and get everything up and running and hand you the keys. The other one is a service where they will do all of the day-to-day managing for you. So he's going to go over two options, and then even if you want to do this yourself, which by the way I also think is great, especially if you have a son or daughter or an assistant or admin assistant that can help you, I think that's also wonderful. And today's webinar is all about free training. Okay, we're not trying to sell you anything, but what we did want to offer was, if you want to take it a step further, Amir can come in with his team and help you. What we're going to do is send out a thank you email with a registration form. It's just name, email, phone number. You send that in to us, and Amir will reach out to you and make sure that you are up and running 100%. And that's pretty much it. So basically, we're going to dive in today and give you all of the best free training that I think will where the goal is where you can walk away with some great nuggets of information and understand the angle of social media marketing. and then give you the option of using Amir and his services as well. Okay, we're also going to send out, we put together these free white papers. A white paper is basically like a blog, an educational article that we put together. One was actually written by Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary V's the ultimate, they call him the social media emperor. So we're going to send all of those out to every participant on today's call. We'll do that today as soon as we're done and we wrap up. Also, what we're doing, if you look in the right-hand column, we have two attachments there. They're red PDFs. One is leads for contracting. So if you are contracted now with one of our competitors and you want to transfer your appointment over to Levinson, we'll match or beat your existing grid, plus give you free exclusive leads with your first application. Right under that is the Levinson article that you're going to see in a few more minutes. You can click there, download these forms, print them, save them to your computer, whichever easier for you. Okay, let's jump right in here. All right, what I want to do also is, and again, I think this is very, very important. I want to wish all the fathers a happy early Father's Day weekend. So I didn't want to forget that. Very, very important. Without our dads, we wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. Kerry, as you know, is my partner and father. Started the agency in 1972. So we'll give him a little shout out. Kerry, if you're listening, wanted to wish you an early happy Father's Day. Okay, jumping in here on the left side, what's new at Levinson? So the Bill Levinson Experience podcast launched in January. We're very, very excited. We have some great interviews on this series. Check it out when you get a chance. It's either available on your iPhone, smartphone. Just click on podcasts and you can search for a Bill Levinson Experience. It's a free subscription. Or if it's easier for you, just go to our website. You'll see it will say podcast up top. Click there and you can listen to all of the episodes right at your fingertips. And it's just great. Like if you're driving to an appointment or you need a little motivation or inspiration in the morning, whatever the case is, going for a walk, yoga, working out, it's a great listen, and I truly think that everybody will walk away with some good information. We have some great influencers from all different sides of our industry and outside of our industry. So we also have, and I know he's listening right now, one of our top 10 general agencies is going to be interviewed by me the end of this month. So I thought it was important that all of our agents can hear from a real life agent that's out there in the trenches, making it happen and doing a great job. And what's so neat is this guy barely leaves his home office, okay? Most of his sales are done from his phone in his third bedroom, literally. So he's got some great stuff to share. You're going to see that introduction coming out by the end of this month. There'll be an invite, and then, of course, you can, if you're subscribed, you'll see the episode either way, but you'll also see an email blast invitation. Okay, Sell While You Sleep, Insure Me Now Direct. That is our Amazon for insurance, and everybody will have free access. That will be launching also this month, so you'll be up and running. We also have 2 more carriers that are joining on as we speak. So really, really cool stuff with our Amazon type of insurance platform you'll be very impressed with. The IULExperience.com, that is a new turnkey IUL platform that we put together just for our agents. It's basically everything you need to know about indexed universal life at your fingertips, including we have an annual class we're going to have in South Florida taught by an IUL pro. That's going to be awesome. We have our scholarship program, the top carriers products. We have IUL leads. We have mailers and books for prospecting, all the above. That will be launched probably, what would you say, Joe? I think by next week we'll have the IUL experience ready to go?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So, yeah, you'll just type in www.iulexperience.com and you will be up and running with our entire turnkey platform. Okay. Moving forward here. And, you know, I wanted to take a second. I think it's important. We were on the cover of Insurance News Net magazine for June edition. And it's just so cool to be featured, you know, side by side with a legend like Gary V. If you don't know who he is, you can look him up. He's very, very well known in the social media world. He also owns Vayner Talents, Vayner Media, Vayner Speakers. He's a part owner of K-Swiss, doing some really, really big stuff. 2,000 employees all over the world. So he's exactly my age, and it's just a great, great story. And basically what we did is I had Gary as my guest speaker on my podcast. Insurance Newsnet heard about it, and they said, Bill, we want to feature this in our magazine. So here you go, cover of the June issue. That's me and Gary in the bottom right-hand corner, and then you open up, we have a 2-page spread that talks all about Levinson and Associates, all about Gary Vaynerchuk, what he's doing, and then, of course, most important, how to market on social media. That's the most important part. Check it out, and I hope by now you listen to our podcast. Okay, let's dive right in here. Now, what I wanted to do here, I wanted to give everyone some great examples, okay? And I think it's so important. You know, you hear me talking about this, and, you know, if you know me, you know I always love to bring value, and there's no charge. We're not selling anything. If you don't know me that well, you might be scratching your head saying, you know, Bill, this sounds great, but, you know, what are you trying to sell me today, okay? And the bottom line is, we're not trying to sell you anything. We hope that you love our products and our service and our technology and the value that we bring. And at the end of the day, I hope you write as much insurance as you can with us. If you're not writing everything with us, that's okay too. But the main point is value add, okay? And I feel like at the end of the day, if you're an agent or you're an IMO or even a carrier, if you bring the value, the business will come, okay? There's no need to act obnoxious and try to sell something all the time. Bring the value and the rest will come. I always believed in that, and that's exactly what happened to us here at Levinson. So, you know, here we are. You know, 2 things I want to share before we dive into these Instagram pages that you're looking at in front of you. You know, the 2 stories I wanted to share is the first one. I got a call from one of our top agents. It's actually 8 o'clock at night, and I'm on the Stairmaster at the gym, and he calls me up and says, hey, Bill, you know, I love what you guys are doing. I want to use some of your marketing pieces, and I want to market myself online through social media. And the problem is I don't have, you know, the fancy car, and I don't have the $10 million house, and I don't know how to drive traffic and build my following. What do you suggest? You know, and I thought about it for a minute, and I said, well, you know, I said, Mark, you're very educated. You have a great personality, and you know this business as well, if not better than I do. Okay, so I said, what you need to do, he wants to recruit agents and be able to sell through social media and through his website and, you know, drive traffic online. So I said, what you need to do is, if your personality is that great and you're such a great salesman, which he is, by the way, then what you need to do is put together a few short 1-minute clips. Okay, have your spouse literally hold up your smartphone and let's start with 3, let's say 1-minute clips. 1, you can talk about final expense and why it's so important. Number 2, maybe mortgage protection and why that's important. Number 3, maybe indexed universal life and retirement and why that's important, okay? Because you need to give these people a chance to hear who you are, right? Share your personality. Most people in this country are not going to ever get a chance to meet you, but this is your chance to take 1 minute, drive traffic to these 1-minute links or videos, and start building your brand, your reputation, right? I'm impressed with who you are, but how do we share your story and who you are with these other millions and millions of people across the U.S.? So I said, you have to start to market you, your personality. Don't worry about the fancy car or fancy house. So anyway, we're doing exactly that. And I just want everyone to pay attention, because if you're that guy or girl, you need to be doing the same thing. And if you're not great, let's say on camera, maybe you're better at writing articles. Great. You should write some blogs, and we'll start to get them out there in this social media world, okay? Whatever the case is, we can use different angles depending on where your strengths and weaknesses are. So these are 3 posts that I wanted to show you real quick. Now, this is Instagram, and if you say to yourself, well, I'm not 18 years old and I don't need to have an Instagram account, you are fooling yourself. You're crazy. Okay, I'm going to tell you that right now, black and white. If you think that your kids are on here every day and that, maybe younger professionals won't be on here, again, you're fooling yourself. Okay, Instagram is a huge social media platform, and every agent on this call, if you're 18 or 77, you need to have your account up and running now. And I'm going to show you exactly why. This is all free, by the way, okay? So the first example on the left is a woman there that refers to her company as the Millennial Money Maven. I'm on the left side, by the way. So the first post there, okay, if you take a look on the top, it says followers, 15,000 people. What that means, when she puts up a post, let's say tomorrow morning, okay, and puts up a post about life insurance or disability, critical illness, 15,000 people see that post instantly, okay? It pops up in their feed. Out of the 15,000 people, if a few percent say, you know what, I don't have life insurance, but, I have a family and I have children and I really need to look into this, and they actually like the picture, okay? We're talking about, let's even say 700 people like that life insurance picture. Out of the 700 people, let's say even 5% make a comment, okay? That's 35 people that are now asking her for, let's say, a quote or more information. That's 35 free leads, okay, that you didn't think about because you thought only your 12-year-old son or 14-year-old daughter were on Instagram, okay? Well, guess what? These agents are out there collecting all of these leads in business while you're driving in your car from appointment to appointment and wasting lots of time. And I'm not saying, you still have to focus on your main business and make that a priority, but why not have this stuff running in the background for free? Okay, there's no reason to not do this. These people are just like you and me. And I'm going to move forward here in the center. You have another middle-aged guy here. And obviously, he talks about all of his designations, and he's a financial advisor and an author of 6 books. And, the bottom line is, I don't know if he's an author of 6 books. I mean, I hope nobody would lie, and I'm not encouraging you to lie, but the bottom line is he put together a very nice page for himself. He's got 38,000 followers, this guy. Okay, do you think he's any smarter than you are? Okay, maybe he's a little bit, maybe not. We don't know. But you should have your page set up. This guy's got some great examples of posts that he puts up about insurance planning, annuities, and we actually pull some of these posts out, and I'm going to show you an example in just a second. Look on the right side there, Tyler Jack Harris. This guy has almost 50,000 followers, okay? That to me is mind-boggling. He said he sold 8,000 life insurance policies in just 3.5 years, okay? Do we know that for a fact? No, we'll never know that. But the bottom line is he's driving traffic and using this as a lead source. Let's go to the next page here, Joe. What we did here is we broke out some real-life posts that you can be using. You don't have to use this exact post, but here's some great examples. Okay, let's start on the left side here. I'm going to tell you another story, and I know I don't want to take up too much time because Joe has his presentation and so does Amir, but I want everyone to get some real-life examples and ideas here. So on the left side, I had a good friend come to me and said, Bill, I need life insurance. His name is Nick. And I said, Nick, well, obviously I can help you and I'm going to tell you what product to buy, but we can't sell on a retail level. So, we have our local agents that, of course, I refer my friends and family to. So I did that. I referred him to one of our local agents, and I basically told the agent, Nick, what to buy. It was a Lincoln term policy, very inexpensive, I think $1 million, whatever the case was. And everything was fine. He filled out the application with the agent, and everything is going through underwriting, no problem. Nick copies me on a post on Instagram and says, Bill, my premium was, $52 a month, and here is actually a better deal. And you told me that you had all of the best products and carriers. And why am I seeing something for less money? And I said, Nick, there's no way. I need to see this. So anyway, he copies me on the post, and that is the actual post on the left side. And I looked at this and I said, wow. And Nick is 38 years old. Okay, so by the way, if you think only kids and teenagers are on Instagram, here's another example. He's a white-collar professional, and this kid's on Instagram 50, 60 times a day. Okay, so I don't ever want to hear that. So anyway, here's a good example. So he says to me, how come this premium is much less than mine? And I'm like, oh my God, maybe did I miss a product? There's no way. We're the professionals, right? We don't miss products. So sure enough, he copies me on the ad, and I look into it, and on the left side it says income over 102,306, get $1 million of life insurance. Now look at this, from $36 a month. There's 2 points here. A, you should be marketing like this. This is a great story. That picture, which is free, got 3,200 plus likes and 45 comments. Every one of those comments is a new lead for you to call. Okay, are you seeing now the big picture? Okay, point number 2 was, so Nick says to me, well, I got $1 million and everything's the same, but my premium is almost double. Why'd you tell me to get this product? And I said, Nick, actually, you're right, and I'm glad you pointed this out. I said, but what you didn't realize, this is called a vitality program, where you have to prove your health every single year. And if you stay at that preferred best health class for the next 10, 15, 20 years, you get to keep your rate. And if you don't, then that premium could go up or even double or triple. Okay? So obviously the product that our agent sold you is perfect for your situation. And then, of course, we told him what, the real black and white story was. And he said, oh, you're right. I just saw this on Instagram. And, but there's 2 points. A, you better know your products and depend on us for knowledge and information, so you can go out there and feel comfortable quoting the best stuff. But B, look at what a great marketing hook. Okay, you talk about getting attention, which is what we want to do, right, to sell product. That's a great story. Look in the middle here. This is that same guy that I pointed out, the middle-aged man I showed you the slide before. He put up this free picture. This post took him probably 22 seconds to put together. Life insurance is like a parachute. If you don't have it the first time you need it, there is no second chance, okay? Is that rocket science? No. Can me and you do this? Yes, okay? 3,245 people liked that picture. 35 comments, okay? And that was a few months ago. I'm sure it's even higher now. That's 35 new leads that this guy is going to call and follow up with to see if he can run a quote and sign up for a life insurance policy. So I just want to draw the picture so everybody understands. I went over this at our Expo Live, but I wanted to go over it again on our social media webinar, and I hope you got some value from that. Look at the right side there. 3 ways we save high net worth families on life insurance, okay? That's 3 examples. All that is a lead capture page, which we can set up and Amir can set up for you. And again, how many people do you think clicked like or had a question or comment that you can follow up with and make the sale? So just think about, keeping your focus on your day-to-day business, right? Do the same thing that you've been doing. Build your book, build your book, build your book. Focus on, maybe high net worth or, white collar young professionals, whatever the case is, but have all of this going on in the background. I know it works. Some of those people I just pointed out, 95% of their sales come from social media. So while everybody's out there, you know, driving to Starbucks or McDonald's or in these networking meetings, these people are sitting on social media crushing it. And all you have to do, okay, if you don't want to take my word, pull up Instagram after we're done with the webinar and just do a search, okay? There's like a little magnifying glass, do a search, put life insurance. It will show you the top posts for life insurance. You're going to see how many questions and comments turned into sales from social media. And all I'm talking about is one platform, by the way. So this goes on and on and on. And the last thing I'm going to talk about, and then we're going to show you a couple of great Bill Levinson and Gary Vaynerchuk videos from the podcast. It's me and him talking about social media. We pulled out 4 one-minute clips, okay, just again for some more ideas. But the one last thing I'm going to talk about is think about, this is a whole nother angle. I had dinner last night with another top MDRT, top of the table agent of ours, and we're sitting at dinner last night. I knew I was going to do this webinar today with you, and he doesn't know much about social media. He's just learning. He's very, very successful in his day-to-day sales and routine, but he doesn't have anything going on in the background with his website or social media. So anyway, we went over all of this, and I taught him about influencers and how does that work with social media. I'm going to give you a quick example, and this does cost a little money, but we're talking $50, $100, not big dollars. Sorry. So think about this for a second. Think about your life insurance agent out there, and I like to put myself in your shoes, by the way. And let's say, for example, you're an agent and you want to drum up some of these comments, questions, and likes, and you want to come up with a really great ad. Okay, so get a picture of a cigar smoker. Okay, get a great picture, put some wording in there. You can do that all on your smartphone for free, by the way. And you can talk about how you, Bill Levinson, the insurance agent, has a program, right, that will give you non-tobacco rates if you smoke cigars. Give an example. Maybe run $500,000 of 20-year term, right, with Prudential, let's say, at non-smoker plus, right? Non-smoker plus for cigar users, okay? Now what you do, first of all, post that on your social media pages. Then what you do is get creative. Run a search, right? Just put cigar and then run a search, right? And see who has the most questions and comments and likes when it comes to the term cigar. Then you find, I'm sure there's going to be an aficionado that loves to smoke cigars and is at all the cigar clubs, or maybe even owns part of a cigar company that everybody follows and likes. When, let's call him Pedro Rodriguez, right? Let's say from Cuba, is very into cigars, lives in South Florida, Miami guy. Everybody follows him. When Pedro puts a post up about cigar smoking, everybody comments and likes it. So then what you do, you send Pedro a message. They call it a DM, a direct message, and you say, hey, Pedro, for $100, would you mind posting my picture, right, of the cigar guy, let's say the guy smoking a cigar, about the non-smoker plus premium rates that nobody else can get, by the way. It's going to be half the price of everyone else, right? Would you mind posting this in your story? Okay, now Pedro has 250,000 followers because he's the man when it comes to cigar smokers. Pedro now puts that post up in his story, and all of a sudden you have 250,000 people that just saw your Prudential non-smoker plus cigar smoker ad. Okay? Do you think that's going to drive people to your page? Do you think that's going to drive people to ask questions and comments on how you can get this rate for them? Absolutely. Okay. And then there's a whole nother avenue where people share that same post, and it goes on and on and on. And again, I'm just trying to draw the big picture, and I hope there's so many ways you can do this, but use that same concept and you can go on and on and on. This will never end. You just have to get creative. Joe, let's move forward here. We have 4 quick videos, and then we're going to introduce Amir, and we'll take it from there. So these are real quick videos. I flew up to New York City, met with Gary Vaynerchuk, and the whole point was to talk all about social media and how it's the future. And these are, we're going to start with the first one, importance of having a website and how you drive traffic. We're going to start with this. It's literally 1 minute. The next one is actually building a brand. So Joe, do you want to take it from here? Just turn up your speakers, everyone. Takeaway there. The next one, real quick, these are all 1 minute clips. By the way, when I was talking to the first agent, I told you 2 stories, and we were talking about how he could spread his message without the fancy car or the fancy house, and how he needs to take those quick 1 minute video clips to spread his message. That's exactly what I did with me and Gary. So this is just an example. The next one is building a brand. Joe? And make sure your speakers are turned up, folks. So there he's talking about, being patient, and if you get one like or one comment, that's more than you had yesterday, and just be patient because it takes time. But if you build and build, eventually you're known as, the local insurance guy or girl. And as soon as the term insurance comes up or long-term care, everyone's going to reach out to you. Okay, that's the whole point. So it's just marketing creatively on social media. The next one is how to get your message out. If you're a good reader, a good writer, whatever it is, turn up your speakers, folks. We got one more after this. Okay, the last one here is, and it's very short to the point, marketing on social media. And then as soon as we're done, we're going to introduce Amir in 2 minutes, and then he'll take the stage. Joe, you want to play the last one here? So there you go. By the way, for the full version, again, just go to Bill Levinson Experience Podcast and you'll see Gary Vaynerchuk. It's 40 minutes long and we really dive in there. But I just wanted to give everyone a little overview. And again, if you're thinking about putting those 1-minute clips together, okay, think, IUL, mortgage protection, final expense, do the same thing with you and your spouse or you and your assistant, whatever the case is. The opportunities are endless. It's just a chance to get your message out. All right, Joe's going to go over, we have white papers we put together for a few different social media platforms, which I encourage everyone to read. We're going to send them out today. Joe, you there?
Yep, thanks, Bill. The first of which you're looking at on the screen in front of you, and this is actually written by Gary Vaynerchuk, who you saw in these videos here, and it really kind of puts together a complete Facebook advertising strategy, gives you great tips, great hints. You're watching all these videos, listening to what we're saying, but this white paper actually lets you take those ideas and concepts and put them into action, which is the first part of really building your social media strategy. So I highly recommend the read. It's going to take you probably maybe about 5 to 6 minutes, and it will give you detailed analysis on just how to get started. Some awesome stuff from what I consider to be the authority on social media marketing, Gary Vaynerchuk. The second white paper that we have, which we're going to be sending out, is your YouTube. And this is basically the same type of thing, but focusing on the YouTube marketing plan. Of course, YouTube is everywhere. It really puts together a step-by-step process on how to build your YouTube channel, how to fine-tune that YouTube channel, what information you should be putting out, how long the video should be. It even dives into, if you have a smartphone, you can record a video, you can upload it to your YouTube channel directly from that smartphone. It is probably the simplest and easiest way to get yourself on that video platform. And again, like Bill mentioned, all this is free. There's no ongoing cost. You can create as many videos as you want. This YouTube business plan, I think, is really awesome. We even have some agents that have started to use this. They even recorded videos on their way to the office. They put their cell phone in the cup holder and the bracket in the car and recorded a quick video on cash value life insurance. One agent in particular has over 100 different views in just a couple weeks. So it's a really, really a great, awesome platform to reach a lot of new prospects and a lot of new clients. And of course, absolutely free, which is the best part of this entire platform.
Okay, good stuff, Joe. Thank you. Yep, and we're going to send that out today. This is our Sell While You Sleep platform launching this month, and what's so neat is you're going to be able to market and sell from your website and all of your social media pages. So, imagine you have a post and the consumer can literally click, run a quote, sign themselves up, policy gets mailed or emailed direct to the client, you sit back, you made full commission, you didn't do anything. Okay, so very cool stuff. This is what I spoke about earlier. Think Amazon, right? Where you can go to Amazon and buy 10 different things from 10 different distributors. Same mindset, but as you can see, look at the icon starting on the left. Life insurance, critical illness, disability, accident, senior, or you can package different products together. If the client clicks on either icon, they see a quote, they can do a side-by-side, click, sign up online, they get instantly approved. Some are guaranteed issue, some are approved within 24 hours, policy sent directly to the client, you did nothing. So as you think about, driving traffic, as you think about marketing and branding yourself online, think about what you can do with a platform like this, and it's free. Okay, so this will be ready by end of June. And again, no charge, full commission and renewals, just like a regular insurance product. Okay, so without further ado, I want to jump into our feature presentation. What I'm going to tell you, I know everyone's excited. You're probably thinking either A, I'm going to hire someone to do this, or B, I'm going to learn it myself, right? I hope everyone has a pen and paper out. And the last thing before I introduce Amir, I want everyone to know there's a lot of gray, right, in this part of the industry. There's a lot of social media third-party companies that are out there marketing and selling their services. 99% of them are going to take your money and they're not going to produce results. I've heard this over and over and over again. So do your homework. My opinion, if you're going to use anyone, I would definitely, 100% at least consider have a conversation with Amir I trust them. I think you'll have a great experience, and he's got 2 co-op platforms that are priced very, very competitively. I know you won't find anything else like it. So take your pen and paper out. Amir is joining us today. Amir, you there?
I'm here. Hi, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. This is Amir Watinsky with Watt Media. Bill, I've known you for at least 15 years. I'm proud of the partnership my firm has with Levinson, and it's been a great ride. Happy to join you today, everyone. So Bill did a great job laying the groundwork for what I'm going to explain. You know, social media has been around long enough that you've definitely have heard of it by now. Maybe you've tried it with varying success. You may be on Facebook and with a personal account, or maybe even a business page, and perhaps you've tried it and it's working out great for you, or maybe you're a bit confused and don't know what it's all about, or are turned off by the fact that it's just, you know, maybe people posting personal things. So I'm going to try to make that easier, explain it a bit today, give you a good explanation of what to expect, what it will do for you, and what it may not do for you. But the important thing is you need to be in it. Don't just stand on the sidelines. You know, this day and age, if you're just watching, you know, your competitors are on it, and your target audience, more importantly, is on it. So you're really missing out if you're just watching the train go by. Just some quick statistics to go over with you. If we talk about the number of active users on these platforms, Facebook, the leader, has over 2 billion active users, which is a crazy number. Because of that, although it started as purely a personal social platform, businesses said we have to jump on this bandwagon, we have to use this for business purposes, and it's become a very effective business social media tool. Then we have LinkedIn, known as the more professional platform, that has 610 million users. Instagram, which was actually purchased by Facebook, so Instagram is owned by Facebook, has 1 billion users. And YouTube, owned by Google, 1.9 billion users. These numbers are unbelievable. And as a matter of fact, YouTube recently became the #2 most used and visited website in the world. So Google is #1, YouTube is #2, and you guessed it, Facebook is #3. These are the big companies, and you know it's really in your best interest to get involved. So when we talk about how many, what percentage of your target market uses these platforms, 69% of all Americans are on Facebook, and 74% check it every single day. They are active users. You notice I didn't mention Twitter. Twitter can also be very effective, but we're going to focus on the ones that I feel today, you know, are most effective for insurance agents. Twitter has many users, but not as many active daily users as platforms such as Facebook and Instagram. So I think that's the best bang for your buck. There are also 60 million business pages on Facebook. So when we talk about your target audience, you know, and Bill mentioned this to some degree, Facebook and LinkedIn are primarily the, you know, where you're going to target the adults, your target market. You know, you're not as many, you know, the millennials, but adults, I would say from 30s and up, primarily use Facebook and LinkedIn. And Instagram, previously thought of as the millennial platform, as Bill mentioned. It used to be the 18 to 24 population, but that has gone by the wayside. Now you have people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and up using Instagram. So I agree wholeheartedly that we don't want to just, you know, discard Instagram and say that that's for the millennials only. Your target market is on Instagram as well as Facebook and LinkedIn. And YouTube, as I mentioned, the #2 most popular website. It has really become important to create videos. Again, if that's your thing, as Bill mentioned, create videos and start getting the follows. And videos are very effective because they also show up on Google searches. So it's a very, very effective platform, YouTube, for getting the word out there. Now, how does it all work, and what will it all do for you? Well, it's not like you start posting and your phone is going to ring off the hook the first day or even the first week. But social media, I would compare it to like personal networking, right? So let's say 30 years ago, if you were making your business plan, your strategic marketing plan, there's no way that you would ignore personal networking, joining the local chambers, the local BNI, and that's something that you should also do today. But social media basically is the same thing, except it's virtual, and because of that, the reach is really exponential. So instead of being in a room with 30 or 40 people, you really have tens or hundreds of thousands of people who can potentially see the posts that you put out there to the world. So it should not be ignored, just as personal networking should not have been ignored and should still not be ignored. But it has a really exponential reach to get out there way beyond what you can do one-on-one, with people. Now, how do you get started on social media if you've never done it, or if you already have? What should you expect? And again, how do you jump in? So number one would be to create a page. So if we're talking about Facebook, you would create a business page on Facebook. LinkedIn would be a personal page, which again is used primarily for business. So step number one, create a page, and you can do it in just minutes. Then you populate that page with your information, your logo, a few photos, all your business information, your address, your website. You populate it so that when people go onto the page, it doesn't look empty, but it looks, again, like it's all ready and represents your brand. And then you start posting. So what do you post? You post interesting and engaging content, genuine, content that would really get interest and follows and likes and shares and all those magic words that Bill mentioned, which really means just genuine interest. And if you're ready, the next step would be possibly jumping in and maybe doing ads and spending money, but you don't necessarily have to do that. You can do it all basically for free. It's just a matter of spending time. So over time, what does this all mean? Well, we watched those videos with Gary Vaynerchuk talking about branding. This is all about establishing yourself as an authority on the subject of fill in the blank, insurance, or, whatever it may be. So because you are the one posting the content and, the genuine content, the articles, whatever it may be, the photos, over time, you're creating your brand, you're establishing yourself as an authority figure, as, you're building that credibility, and therefore, you're planting seeds for the future. And what that happens is, social media becomes a huge piece of the puzzle in your marketing, in your overall marketing. People see your posts. They keep you top of mind as the expert in your area. When the need arises, who do they think about? You, because you've been there all along. You're there 2-3 times a week posting those articles and tidbits, so they think of you. And, of course, you're the one they're going to call because you're the so-called expert, in the topic. So you can do this all for yourself. And as Bill mentioned, there's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, some of the best results can be if you can do this yourself because no one can do it like you. However, you may not have the time or the desire or maybe even the know-how to spend the time doing this. So that's where we can help. And as Bill mentioned, we offer 2 solutions. One is a full turnkey solution. We will create your business page or any page, LinkedIn page, whatever it may be. We will fill it all in for you, get your logo on there, get your picture, populate everything so it's ready to go, and then hand over the keys for you. And that's just $99 one time, turnkey solution. And then the other option is a managed solution where you don't do anything. We'll still create it for you, but we'll manage it ongoing. We will post on the platform 3 times per week. Of course, you can be involved in that process as much or as little as you'd like to be, and we offer that for $199 a month for ongoing. And but again, as Bill mentioned, today is not about selling you anything. It's about providing this free information. My goal today was just to highlight some of the top platforms, the differences between them, and really what to expect and what it's all about. And Bill, I'll let you jump in if I've missed anything or if you'd like to jump on any of that.
No, that's perfect. So, yeah, we're going to have that form we'll send out to everybody if you're interested in speaking with Amir and using one of these 2 packages. But if you don't want to take the time and if it's a little too much for you and you're focused on the phone and your day-to-day sales, for 99 bucks, he'll get you up and running. I think that's a no-brainer. But I would encourage you to take a look, dive in, and start with even one or two platforms. Okay, it's not as tough as you think, and once you get the hang of it, you're off to the races. You change your mindset. I call it the social media mindset, where if we have let's say a meeting here in the office in the conference room, there's 10 agents, we're talking about annuities. I'm going to take a picture, and I'm going to take that picture and I'm going to post it on social media, and I'm going to say, hey, great positive Tuesday. We have our fixed annuity meeting at the Levinson headquarters, and people start commenting and liking the picture. It's a social media mindset where you should be doing the same thing. You just sold a great, let's say, a term policy, and sold your best friend, whatever, $50 a month on their premium, and they say, man, Bill, you are the man. I appreciate you doing this for me. Social media mindset says, you know what, Bob? Do me a favor. I'm going to take my phone out. Say that one more time. I'm going to record that 20-second testimonial, take it and put it out on my website and on my social media and say, look what I did for Bob. I can do this for you too. Click here. Okay? That's social media mindset. Everything you do, you should be thinking like this. That's how Levinson was built. Okay? And we're not even a retailer. We're a wholesaler. So the bottom line is, we took an hour to go over this with you, and it kills me. I hear from agents every day, and they say, Bill, what lead programs do you have? Where can I generate more leads? I need to sell more. I need to sell more. I need to speak to more people. And then I go on Instagram, right, and I do a search, and I just put in life insurance, and I see all these young guys or girls that don't know half of what you know. And they're getting all of these prospects and clients on social media. They're selling a ton. They're not even seeing these people. So when I see 47 comments about, hey, run me a quote, what product is this? Call me when you get a chance. And I hear all my agents calling to say, how can I generate more business with you? It seriously kills me to see that. So I know all of you can do this, and that's why I wanted to take the time, and that's why I flew up to New York, and that's why we grabbed Amir and put together these cheap co-op plans so everyone can get started and get out there. Okay, Joe's going to show you how to get started, and then we're going to wrap up in 5 minutes. Joe?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. So real quick here on the screen in front of you, right on CarrieLevinson.com, underneath the Agent Tools tab, there is a section that says Social Media. You can click on that. We actually have some great social media 101 videos if you want to kind of go back to the beginning and just learn how the different social media platforms work. It'll kind of dive into an intro to social media from the ground up, and then also a little more in-depth on prospecting for clients. Everyone will receive an email this afternoon with this link to actually access that platform, and you can actually request to get up and running, and that way you'll be able to get in touch with Amir and his group. So we'll be sending that out. A very, very simple, easy process with some great resources to get started. Secondly, I do want to cover some upcoming training events. I've had a lot of questions during today's webinar about how to use this in conjunction with the Agency Automator platform. So the Agency Automator training system is available Monday through Friday, every day at 2 p.m. Eastern. We cover a different part of that Agency Automator platform, which is your CRM and marketing platform. So that's definitely something to check out. We'll send out that link this afternoon. Most importantly, on Friday at 2 p.m., there is a webinar covering best practices, and that's where we dive into actually how to use your CRM platform to be very effective and uncover new leads and really engage your existing clients and customers. So that's definitely one you do not want to miss. For some awesome upcoming webinars, Bill mentioned the IUL experience. We have a webinar on the 20th at 2 p.m. We're diving into that IUL platform, covering the software, the scholarship platform, consumer approved material, all the training around the IUL experience. We're going to be covering that on the 20th at 2 p.m. And then the following week, which is going to be the 27th at 2 p.m., we have the ultimate $99 sales concept. That is, in my opinion, one of the most exciting concepts when it comes to Index Universal Life, and really a great way to show clients how to use Index Universal Life to uncover more business, and really a very simple, easy way to explain the product. This company in particular has put together an awesome presentation that you can start using that day to show clients why Index Universal Life is such a great product. And when you combine that sales presentation with the IUL Experience platform, the sales software, it's really a one-stop shop for everything Index Universal Life.
All right, Joe, good stuff. Second to last slide here. And take the time, listen to those trainings that Joe was talking about, because it's really going to keep your finger on the pulse here in our industry and social media and everything in the middle. Okay, so Levinson podcast, that's a picture of the sample there. That's what it looks like when you dive into the library. And again, it's on Apple, iTunes, Stitches, Spotify, and your Google Android App Store. So Pandora is actually next. Take a look. It's a free download. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. If you go on to any one of those channels and you leave a review of the podcast, okay, and it simply says you can put 5 stars and it says leave a review, take a picture of the review, email it to me. Okay, very simple. You can do a screenshot or a picture with your phone, email it to me, and I'm going to send you a free copy of the Top Seller Sales Strategy book, okay? It's an excellent book that will help you get your arms around insurance selling all angles. So send it over when you get a chance, and I will mail you out a free copy. Okay, our last slide here. We're going to end with this. And I hope everyone on the call gets in this social media mindset. I'm going to bring up one last example, too, that I forgot to mention. Think back to Pedro Rodriguez, the cigar smoker that has 250,000 followers. Okay, just think about this for a minute, and imagine that same Pedro Rodriguez, right? You pay him, let's say, $100 for 2 posts, and the first one is maybe him sharing your non-smoker rate for all cigar smokers. Okay. You talk about the attention that's going to get you. How many followers are going to come to your page and ask you questions about their rate? And hey, can you run, let's say, $100,000 quote for them? It just opens the door. And then think about if Pedro says, hey, let's say if he makes a post about you, right, and says, hey, by the way, Bill Levinson handled all of my insurance needs. Call Bill or click here if you have any questions about insurance products. Now imagine the following. Pedro has 250,000 followers. Do you think that the next time one of his followers thinks about life insurance or any insurance product, they're going to remember, hey, Pedro Rodriguez uses Bill Levinson. Well, Bill must be good enough for him. Then I'm going to call Bill. So think like that, and anyone can go do a free search right now when we're done, and the opportunities are endless. Think about Gerber and the Grow Up plan, right? For $5-6 a month, you can get, let's say, a $25,000 whole life on any child or grandchild, plus a $40,000 free scholarship. What grandparent's going to say no to that for $5-6 a month? Okay, what I would do if I was an agent, I would do a search for, let's say, Gerber or baby food and find out who are the big shots and the influencers in that part of the industry, and then start reaching out, sending messages. Hey, I'll give you $50 if you post one of my life insurance advertisements. Whatever. The opportunities don't. Ladies and gentlemen, this can go on and on and on, and this could literally be a second part of your business, driving leads. We're going to end with this, and this is so fitting. This is my Positive Tuesday quote, okay? And this means absolutely nothing. I just posted on all of our social media to show agents, okay, to give them an idea. But tell me this isn't perfect. Imperfect action supersedes perfect inaction. Take the first step. Okay, very fitting for today's call. Go out, make it happen. You have to learn one step at a time. Have a great rest of the week, a good weekend, and great selling. Thanks again.